Hello everybody, it's time once again for another still frame review. I did have another movie queued up, but I felt like doing a Christmas movie since Christmas is coming up, plus I've been on a Capra kick lately. So I wanted to do a quick review on Frank Capra's magnum opus, It's a Wonderful Life. Classic story of George Bailey, who has kind of a rough life and then tries to commit suicide on this bridge, and then his guardian angel Clarence comes and George tells him he wishes he'd never been born, so Clarence grants his wish, and then George gets to see what life would be like if he really had never been born. And then, yeah, well, you know the plot. Everybody knows the plot to It's a Wonderful Life. If you haven't already seen it 100 bajillion times, you've at least seen it parodied 100 bajillion times. In fact, there are already 100 bajillion YouTubers on here who already have great in-depth reviews on why It's a Wonderful Life is everybody's favorite movie. So I'll just give my quick 2 cents worth and get out of here. In no particular order, here are some things that stood out to me while I was watching the movie. Frank Capra really heightens the emotion of the piece by using the basic storytelling method of putting the high highs right next to the low lows. Every time George Bailey has a win, it's followed immediately by one of the most tragic losses we've seen yet. But it's important that he's not just getting beat down by life through forces he can't control. Each negative thing requires Bailey to make a choice, sometimes choosing the hard thing, which builds his character but still drains him emotionally. Going from high highs to low lows creates this emotional whiplash that makes the audience feel a greater intensity of emotion, more than, say, if the first half of the movie was all highs and the second half was all lows. You need to alternate between the two to get the audience to notice. I also love how the first 3/4 of the movie really feels like an independent, low concept premise. No crazy things, just a regular guy living a regular life. And Frank Capra does a really good job of creating this experiential feel, of focusing on these little moments in life that really stand out. I especially love the gymnasium scene. Everybody jumping into the pool just feels like one of those high school memories that you return to over and over again. And I thought it was very interesting that the first 3/4 of the movie is this low concept movie, while the last quarter is this high concept movie, where it's not a regular life, but fantastical things. This angel coming down and creating this Twilight Zone concept, where George lives in this alternate universe where he never existed. Somehow, the two remaining separate and not being that interwoven still works. However, I'm always surprised at just how short the George Bailey never having been born sequence is. That's the part of the movie everyone seems to remember and everyone seems to parody, so I always think of that as the main part of the movie, but the bridge scene doesn't even come up until around the 1 hour 40 minute mark, 3/4 of the way through the movie. Which feels almost kind of like I got cheated, but not at all, because the first 3/4, the low concept indie film portion of the movie, is really, really well done and doesn't feel at all like what you would expect from a typical 1940s movie. That's just Frank Capra being a genius, like he always is. Or was. He's dead. Anyway, lastly, I just want to say I really, really love the ending scene where the town gathers around George Bailey and give him money and show how much he really means to them. Capra used to do a lot of scenes like that, but I think this one is the best version he ever did. And fun fact, this scene was the scene that broke my record of not crying for 7 years. Not just in movies, but in general. I never cried for a period of 7 years until I saw that one scene. So that's how good it really is. What do I think of the movie? It's an A, of course. A for angelic. Everybody loves It's a Wonderful Life. So this wasn't a super in-depth review, but more like a friendly reminder. Hey, if you're one of those weird people who've never seen this movie ever before in your life, or if you're like me and you saw it like when you were 5 years old and only remember bits and pieces, but you've seen it parodied so much in the back of your mind, you feel like you've seen it, so you've never actually bothered to watch it and get the whole experience. This is a friendly reminder, just watch the movie. Hurry up and watch the movie. It's free on Amazon Prime. It's one of the best Christmas movies ever, and, well, one of the best movies ever. Those were my thoughts on It's a Wonderful Life. Let me know your thoughts and what letter grade you would give it. I'm probably gonna post one more video before I take a break for Christmas. I'm not entirely sure what it's gonna be, but until then, everybody, have a Merry Christmas. See you later.